Yeah, every year.
Okay.
It's a gold mine. It's crazy.
Okay. Where do they travel to?
It's mostly the Eastern or Western Caribbean. So the first year I did it, I'm like, oh, free cruise. Like, they're paying me for the cruise and,
Mhm.
buying it. So I'm like, I like cruises. So I went. And after the first year, I'm like, I can't miss this cruise ever again. Like, this
Wow.
is crazy. Like, this is like the world's best secret. And I think I've been doing it for like 11 years now, and there hasn't been a year I haven't made at least 20,000 on the ship. I chopped the main one year for 105K. I've won a lot of side events. I've crushed the cash game. It's it's not real poker. It's crazy. Like like honestly, it's literally the softest you'll ever see in your life. Like
Okay.
I've been all over the world. I've been in Africa. I've been in Brazil. I've been everywhere. Like this is these. So what happens is like they'll run like cruises all year round, and Norwegian will run these like super turbo satellites. So it's like 160 bucks or 150 bucks, table of 10. You win your buying and cruise or whatever. And so you get all these people that are just kind of average cruise goer or your retirees that they're really, and they, hop in a poker tournament and they win a satellite to play this main event come in December. So you get all these people, and first off, there's always like 100K that is in like dead money that people don't show up because a lot of people are like they win these satellites from all over the place, like in
Mhm.
Europe and everything, and they're like, oh, I
Okay.
don't know if I want to go, whatever. So there's always like an extra like 90K or 100K in the prize pool. You get people that are some people are just ready to bust right away to go enjoy the cruise or whoever they brought who don't even care at all, and then you got people that really don't know poker, like at like so you see some of the most crazy hands ever. Like the hands don't even make sense, some of the hands. So um, it's something I can't miss ever. It's just too
Okay.
good.
Okay. All right.
I
Awesome.
won the high roller this year. It was funny with heads up. I got heads up in the 2,500 this year, and first place was 56K, $250, and second place was I think 37 or 38K. The
Okay.
guy offered me 54.5 if I would chop heads up, and he got like 38 or 39. So yeah, 1K. And then one time I was playing, I think it was the $200 rebar or the 500, and there was like 4 or 5 people left, and I was like fourth in chips,
Okay.
and the whole table wanted to do a deal, and they agreed to give me first. Like I didn't even ask for it. They're like, you can have first place since you're the most experienced. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like they make the craziest deals on the ship too. Like no one wants to play it out ever. So they will make the crazy like the main event this year, first place was like 200,000 or 205. Second place was like 140, so on, so on. Well, at the final 9 people, they all agreed that everyone makes 70K and first place. So they took the first place prize, first money out of it, all
Mhm.
the everything out besides second. They paid everyone 70K and they played for first place, which was 140K. So there was 2 payouts at the final table: 140K, 70, 70, 70, 70, all flat. They get down to 4 people. I don't know how the chip leaders ever agree to stuff like that, but
Yeah.
they do. They got down to 4 people, and then they all agreed to give the chip leader five. They all agreed to take 5 extra K, and so the chip leader paid him 15K, and he got 125, and they all got 75. I'm like, you already guaranteed 70. It's 5K to win a possible 70 more, and there's only 3 people you got to get through, and they're
It's,
all take the deal. Like it's the deals are crazy there,
it
and
sounds like it's a bunch of people that don't necessarily need the money. They're just there for the vacation and the entertainment.
oh no, they some don't need the money, but a lot. It's the situation comes down to like no one's used to playing for this kind of money. No
Okay.
one's poker players, and everyone's stress levels, anxiety, and like they don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to bust. They don't want to like they they're just like let's I can win right now. Let's just make a deal, kind of type thing. It's like they're just happy to like
Okay.
not lose, basically. Like,
Okay.
what was I gonna say? Yeah, like one year I was at the final table, and this is just I'll just say one hand, but I could say a million hands. But everyone was so there was me and 2 guys that were all around 35 big blinds, 30 to 40 big blinds, and then the rest of the table had less than 8. So there's 3 big chip leaders. Everyone else is on crumbs. So it's kind of like don't get in a big pot with these two unless you have the nuts. That's
Right.
basically what comes out.
Right.
And I had this hand where I open kings like second or third to act. This old guy who's like 70 some years old, he calls in the cutoff, big blind calls. All 3 chip leaders, all 3 of
Mhm.
us. I can't. Pockets 10, 9, 8. Big blind checks. I check, just trying to keep pot control.
Mhm.
Uh, the cutoff bets like 3 big blinds. The big blind now goes all in for 36 big blinds. And I easily fold kings. It's a no brainer for me.
Yes.
Like it's so hard for him not to have two pair set straight.
Yeah.
And it's just it's easy fold.
Okay.
The other guy calls. The other guy calls it off with a pair of fours. 10-9-8 board. And this is just the stuff. So he took ninth place, being like second in chips, betting three big blinds and calling off 30 some big blinds with fours on 8, 9, 10. And this is just stuff you see nonstop at the table. Like the same guy would put chips in the pot and then he would take his hand and put it in the middle of the table to the dealer. And the dealer would take his cards half the time. And he's like, oh, no, no, no. One time he made it seem like he said he had aces, which I believed him because so many times he got his chips mucked and his cards
Right.
mucked.
Mm-hmm.
And this time he finally made a scene about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, I had aces, blah, blah. Like, dude, you can't put your cards in the middle of the table. Like,
Right.
you're giving them to the dealer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
no one really knows what they're doing. It's kind of funny. It's you feel bad at like I this is the first time I ever felt bad playing poker because the first year on the cruise there was this one guy that was just he looked like Albert Einstein.
Oh, yeah.
He was so excited to play with me. I saw him out in the we were in Cancun or whatever at the beach, and I look over and this guy's staring at me, and I look away, look back, and the guy's staring at me still. Look away, look back, and he's still staring at me. I'm like, all right, this is awkward. I kind of have to say something. Hey, how's it going? He's like, you Joe? You Joe Cada? I go, yeah. He's like, can I get a picture? And he's in this like nice suit. His wife is like has the big top hat, the long sleeves, like they're like super like what you see in the movie.
Yes.
And take a picture with them. And he's like, you play poker later? I go, yeah, I'm gonna be. He's like, so can I play with you? I go, yeah, come we'll play cash games later. I get back on the ship and the guy sees me right away. He has this giant ass like professional photo already printed out. He's like, can you sign? I'm like, okay. And then I started playing with this guy and I could tell he really never played poker and he was just kind of happy to play with me.
Right.
And I really felt I never felt like really bad at the table. I felt bad because I felt like everyone like no one was good at the table, but I felt like everyone was taking advantage of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would do whatever you told him to do and he would do things that were just stupid. And like,
Yeah.
for example, like there's this one hand that the board was ace 9 7 7 5 and I bet $600 on the river. I have, it doesn't matter what I have. I had an ace though.
Yeah.
And he calls me with 4-3 playing the board on an ace 9 7 7 5 board. So if I had 6 high, I win. I'm bluffing with 6 high, I win. He goes, I just want to see what you have.
Mm-hmm.
There's another hand where I bet $5,000 in a $200 pot and he called.
Oh
and
my word.
So it's like you can do things like you can just like get kings or aces and you're like 800 to go, at 510. It'll be like call.
Yeah.
It's like you just I don't think I ever bluff on the ship. I just sit there and just wait for a good hand and make it like 30 times the blind or whatever the pot is, make it huge. And he's always like, Joe, you play it very secure. I go, every fold. There's like 6 ways to every flop, and like why would I ever bluff at this table? And like this guy ended up losing like 150K at 510.
Oh,
But apparently, like this guy was just loaded because he took us up to his room. He had the nicest room on the ship. Grabbed all his alcohol, brought it back downstairs from his room, and he booked 2 rooms the next year already. But why did you book 2 rooms? He goes, this way when wife's mad at me, I got second room.
Wow.
I'm like, but you get a lot of wealthy guys that like just throw money around on this. The cruise is unbelievable, honestly.
Okay.